Cool. So thanks, first of all, everybody, for coming out. It's super cool to see all of you here. It's cool to have it like sell out and have to create a wait list. Even cooler is that we raised a little under $4,000 for the charities of our speakers today. So let's definitely give it up for them. And because I give more than my fair share of time and money to my charity, I've decided to forego mine and give $1,000. We'll make it a clean $4,000. And it's $1,000 in the name of each one of our speakers that came today for all of their individual charities. So I'm just super happy to see that they're all willing to come, flying in as far away as Portland on either their dime or their company's dime, which allows us to not spend the money on the flight and instead spend the money on their communities and helping them to live out their mission. So I want to talk about stories and how they're kind of rediscovered. And I'm going to walk you guys through a story on what actually kind of created this presentation. But first, I want to start with a video. Not bad. So I found that on Google Plus of all places. Can I forward past this? Or do I have to now use the keyboard? Let's see. There we go. I find great marketing inspirational. Hopefully that's why you guys are here, right? To get inspired by just great marketing. And it's just great to see that. Like you see that all put together, which is an ad campaign done by some Stanford alumni for Google Glass. And Google found a way to make Google Glass, this nerdy thing you put on your face, relevant during Mother's Day. They found a way to make a connection in a way that told a great story without saying any words. And like, I'm an internet marketing guy, so I'm trying to learn to be a little bit more like Ed. Think a little bit bigger about what we do. Think a little bit more like the way Tracy's talking about, and there are other great speakers. But I'm going to take this back to Search. This is the Search freaking church. So I feel that your story, as good as it may be, it gets rediscovered through Search. I'll tell you guys what I mean by that. So yes, stories, I believe, are discovered because we can seek them out. They're not always told to you. And with Search, Stories are often rediscovered. And I'll tell you guys what I mean by that. So these days are over. The idea that I can just sit a bunch of kids in pews, look at their hands. Look how every kid's hand is folded across, like on top of their desk in the same position. The ability to just market to people and blast them, and like everybody's like smiling, like they had to smile. You can just look at these poor kids being forced by this nun to like, you better freaking smile, So you look at that, and it's like that's what audiences used to kind of feel like, right? You could just do enough billboard, enough TV, enough radio, and they would hear your shit. But today, even nuns got phones. So even nuns don't pay attention to your story. Like a kid could like fall off of that soccer ball statue and crack his head open. Nun would be like, take a picture and put it on Instagram with a nice filter, right, Trace? What's interesting to me is that you look at this picture from, I believe it's Piccadilly Circus, and it's a reminder that your message is blurred now because there's so many messages out there. So your forced story to me is a blur. I might see it, I might not see it, but most of the time I'm like that nun in Piccadilly Circus selfie, right? So you can megaphone your story out all you want, and we are all willing to listen to it. We want to listen to your stories. So you guys are all coming out today, super inspired. Yeah, I'm gonna go tell great stories, and everybody's gonna go try to hire Scott or something, and like take all my data and make something beautiful like that. And I'm happy to announce that Seer actually just recently hired a big data specialist here so that we can do stuff like that for our clients if you give us your data. So we listen to your story, and we do. But the problem is when you look at this statistic, it's like, oh my God, there's so many people trying to tell me their freaking story. And I might even want to remember it, but I can't because I've seen 1,000 other stories and things about kittens and babies and all other kinds of things on the way of seeing your story. So we forget it. I'm sorry to say. You spend all this time and you work on your story, and guess what? We forget it. Not because it wasn't good. It's because there's so many other stories being told to us. So all that great content you built, we forget it. It was good, but we forget it. And because we forget your content, we rediscover content through our lens, not necessarily the megaphone that you want. We Google shit. So you might tell a story in your view, but I may not remember your story the way you want me to remember it. So I'm going to have to Google your story. And the question is are you going to show up when I'm looking for your story? That is not a real tattoo. There's no way. So there's always like the story you want people to know and the story that they discover. So I did a search because I saw that ad on Google+, and I couldn't find it again. Yes, I'm one of the only users on Google+. I obviously mistyped it in, but who cares because Google can fix it, so it's made me lazy. And I skipped over the first listing because it looked like it was some stupid thing about a model. And it wasn't the advertisement that I was looking for. So I'm trying to rediscover content I had seen hours before. But the problem is I couldn't remember, what do you search for? Like I didn't realize that was even a Mother's Day ad. I just thought it was a cool, obviously, right? I looked for Google/visit ad. I didn't know what I was looking for. And I do this shit for a living. So I know how to search. And I couldn't find it. So think about all your customers who don't do this for a living for 15 years every day of their lives. So I said, headline in global news. Headline in global news? Well, I sure as hell don't want the model, because that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the video, because I wanted to see it again. So I clicked on global news and got the freaking model. This is the last thing I want. I wanted the video. I'm trying to rediscover that great piece of content that Google had put together. And I found this attractive woman, but she's not who I'm looking for right now. I got a wife, and she's hotter. So when I think of Google Glass, I mean, let's be honest, I tend to think of not this. This is not what I expect when I think of Google Glass. What I think of is I think of this guy and this guy. There's actually a website called White Men Wearing Google Glass. I don't know if to call that racist or funny, but you guys laughed and most of you are white, so I'm going to laugh with you. Look at that funny die in the shower. I had to test it on my audience first to make sure I was in a safe environment. And I definitely think of the Revenge of the Nerds guys, not models, right? But I got this. It's not what I was looking for when I was trying to rediscover that piece of great content, because I forget it. Put all your money into producing great content and make it hard to be found when I decide I want it again. Like we can all, bookmarks have been around since Netscape. Who bookmarks anything? No one, because Google's usually that good that you can find it, but sometimes you don't. And then, before I even got to scroll, I put my, this is probably Pip's probably testing this. I'm testing to see how annoyed I can make people. So before I even got to see the rest of the article, which isn't seeming like it's what I wanted, I got this pop-up ad from Mentos, which I don't like, that tell me I can play a game to force the Mentos Knight to surrender and give up his pure fresh gum. I'm looking for the freaking video, and now I got to close this thing out. What's really interesting is I'm at the article URL, but somebody decided it'd be much better to not give me what the freak I'm looking for, and instead give me a game that I can play for a product I don't even want or like. All you've really done is piss me off. And then as I scroll down, do you see the video here? Nope. Think about the amount of pixels this company has given up to everything other than what I'm trying to find. I'm just trying to find the video. Can't see it. I found all their other extra content they want me to get, and obviously Monica Lewinsky broke her silence. Awesome. Who cares? I'm just looking for what I'm looking for. Where is the freaking video? What's really interesting is that Google spent millions on creative. They spent billions on YouTube. So they actually own the platform that could have made that thing show right up for me. And they spent billions of dollars on it. They can't even figure it out themselves. They built an algorithm I'm trying to understand, and they can't figure this out themselves. So think yourself. Are you producing content that is so great that when people go to re-find it, they can't find it? Think about it. So how did Google miss this opportunity? They abandoned the process of rediscovery. They forgot that we don't use bookmarks. We don't. And when we don't use bookmarks, we use their search engine to find their stuff, and they can't show it to me. See, they forgot that stories are shared, not on Google+, right, of course, and then they're reshared. And in the same way, when you played Whisper Down the Lane in 5th grade, and the story started off one way, and by the time it got to Janie at the end, it was a completely different story. That's what happens when your stuff gets shared online. And the question is when you finally make something viral, are you actually, or viral, quote unquote, I hate that freaking word, but when you make something that actually takes off and moves, all the different ways people are searching for it is their journey to your content. They are looking for it again. The question is are you going to make it easy for them to find it? And let's talk about the fate of that lovely news site, Global Headlines, whatever the crap that was. Did they rank? Yes. So as a search company, somewhere there's an SEO who got to click on that and going, yeah, did my job, ranking, nailed it. Did they get clicks? Yup. Somewhere there's a traffic manager going, traffic went up, nailed it. Impressions went up. Some ad manager somewhere is like, yeah, we showed these huge freaking ads all over the fucking content that Will wanted. Nailed it. Millions of impressions, and they're all high-fiving themselves. And you know what I'm saying as a user? Never coming back to this site ever, ever, ever. So the focus for them was on getting clicks. Oh, we got clicks, we got a click, we got a ranking, we got impressions. What they failed to realize is that they could have actually built a click with me. So they lost an opportunity to build a click with me because they focused on getting a click over building a click. Time gets it. That's why they're a freaking brand we all recognize. Global news and headlines. How many people been on that site before? None of you. Been on Time before? Yeah. Why? Because they get clicks. They get building clicks. Look how much real estate is given to what I'm looking for above the scroll versus ads and other BS. Now, if I had shown you the other site, we'd be still scrolling, looking for the video. Still looking, can't find it. When you make content, ask yourself, especially if you're in the publishing business, ask yourself how much space are you giving to what people want to see versus how much you want them to see. Give them what they want, not what you want them to want. Because they really wanted me to click on that Mentos ad. Sorry. Not going to do it. So let's look at the definition of a click. Small group of people. Shared interests, important word, or other features in common, who spend time together, and who do not readily allow others to join them. I don't like all that definition, right? Not allowing other people to join. I'll say hell no to that. But take that out and look at what you're left with. It's not a bad thing, right? Small group of people, good. People like content that they feel fits them, right? Shared interests, other features in common, spend time together. And let's be a little bit more inclusive. So the first step in building clicks, not getting clicks, you gotta feel like you're ready to plant a flag on something. The hardest people to do marketing for are people who just go with the direction of the wind because you have no principles. You have nothing that you stand for that I can then help you promote. Then all I'm left with is crap to manipulate Google with, which is no fun. So what have you planted your flag on? The thing that you're not willing to stand for anymore. You know, you're like, we're not going to take this anymore. I want to give you an example. Nudie jeans. Anybody here wear nudie jeans or know where to get them? Because I'm trying to buy their shit. All right, no one. All right, we're going to figure it out. I'm going to see if I can send these jeans to them, see if they can make them, because I believe in where they plant their freaking flag. So let's talk about it. Look at the way they talk about what happens to you when you have an old pair of jeans. A lot of people in here wearing jeans, couple. Nobody in the front row. It's interesting. They're happy. Happy. They are happy to repair your jeans at their shop for free. Happy. Not willing, happy. If you want to do it yourself, they'll send you a repair kit so you can repair your jeans for free. How the freak are they going to stay in business when they're fixing people's shit for free? I need your jeans to wear out so you eventually buy more jeans, right? We don't believe that throwaway and jeans are words that belong together. Does it sound like they've planted a flag? Yeah, they have. Now ask yourself, where's this on your site? Where's this in your story? Where's your flag planted? Because if your flag is planted on, we're going to make a ton of money, sorry. Look at the things that they're willing to do and the way they talk about this. And what's really funny is they say, if you absolutely want to buy a new pair of jeans from us, when you have our old jeans, just please bring them in and we'll give you 20% off of your new jeans. They're trying to keep me from buying their shit. But I'm telling their story. There is no story for Calvin Klein like this. So like the capitalist pig in all of us goes, but they're going to sell less jeans. They're going to sell less. Aren't you in the business of selling jeans? And I go, oh, yeah, we're going to sell less jeans. But we also planted a flag that this should never happen. And we think that we have the power to do that. Now look at your freaking crusty-ass jeans now and think, if Nudie could make the jeans you're wearing right now, would you pay a little bit more maybe to eradicate child labor? I know I would. These freaking AGs are about to hit the garbage. Not because I don't like them, because I want to support their mission. They get clicks. They build clicks. They tell stories about people's jeans on their website. You can see where he's like, oh, this white paint. So when you come in and bring your jeans in, they take a picture of them and they write a story about your jeans. Your jeans tell stories. They found a way to tell a story from jeans. And you know what? When I saw this, I went, my jeans have a story too. And they do. So I went to Neiman Marcus and I picked up these jeans. Please come up later and feel them. They are amazing. They feel like pajamas. My wife is here. It's all good. She won't throw you off the balcony. She's really nice and sweet. My jeans feel like pajamas, and I felt them once at Neiman Marcus, and I was like, oh my God, these are the best things ever. So I pick them up, and I was like, screw that. I'm not paying that much money for a pair of jeans. Folded them up, never again. Not going to do it. And then I'm on my second date with my wife. We're down in Atlantic City. Why I took her there, I don't remember. Oh, I remember why. It was because there was a time when we were really small that I could take all of our employees overnight to Atlantic City. And then once you get big and have a big church and shit, that gets really freaking expensive. So I'm there with a couple of my employees, I think it was like 4 of us, and we're going out to dinner. And while Nora and I are walking on the boardwalk, bird shits on my jeans. And I'm like, shit, man. So I'm like, this is my second date. This is bad. Like, this is bad. It's my second date. Like, I'm all like freaking out because I have bird shit on my jeans. And then I'm like, there's got to be a store somewhere in Atlantic City that sells jeans. So I go into that like really that pier at Caesars, and I pick up these jeans and I go, oh shit! I bet you these are the same freaking jeans that I didn't buy from Neiman Marcus because they were expensive. And I felt them, and I'm like, yeah, that's them. And I'm looking at the bird shit. I'm looking at the price. I'm looking at the bird shit price, and I'm going, I'll take them. So I took them because I didn't want to have bird shit on my pants when I'm like on my second date with my wife for dinner. I've been wearing AG jeans ever since. But it's interesting. Because they're so nice and thin, they're actually starting to wear out because my chiropractor wants me to not put my wallet in my back pocket anymore. So I put it in my front pocket, usually on my right side. And now, where that is actually starting to make holes. So why do I tell you a story about my jeans and being crapped on? They helped me realize there is a story in these jeans. They're not just jeans. They're a story. And the thing that they do that's god-awful smart marketing is they're using their brand to tell their customers stories. Smart. They don't need to tell me their story because they walk, talk, and believe it every day. And this guy had a pair of earphones that put a hole through them. Being a father must do something bad to jeans, I guess. And he's got white paint from redoing his flat. It's been 1 year, 4 months, and he hasn't washed them. Nudie jeans, who I don't wear, help me to realize that my jeans have a story. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to send these jeans somewhere to them and see if they can replicate them, and then I'm never buying a pair of jeans from AG again. So where have you planted your flag? Because when they planted that flag, I went, yep, you're for me. You're for me so much that I'm abandoning my favorite jeans ever, and I'm willing to pay postage to send you my jeans to see if you can make me jeans like these, so I don't have to give it to some freaking schmuck who just spends a bunch of money in Vegas on strippers. Or whatever he does, but he sure as hell isn't doing that. So the other thing I believe, really believe, is that where you can, this concept of trying to go viral is old. I want to see our team, I want to see us as marketers go helpful. I want to do things that help people versus do things that go viral just for the sake of getting the spike. Can I stream it? Have you ever wondered if you could, yep, your head nodded, you're like, yes, oh, I get what they do, right, shit's helpful, right? Hey, I want to know whether or not I can stream this. And then it'll say, do you have Amazon Prime, do you have Netflix, do you have Comcast, do you have Xfinity, do you have AT&T? And you tell them all the different services you have or don't have, and it'll say, yes, you can stream that. I found this as an example to use in an internet marketing conference and ended up using it on Friday night. So I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was dreaming about Walt Kowalski from Gran Torino, because I love that freaking movie. And I went to this site, because I was like trying to find it on YouTube and like download it off of some BitTorrent site or something, and I couldn't find it, and I was really frustrated. It's 2 a.m., I want to freaking see Gran Torino until I fall asleep at like 2:15. So I typed in Gran Torino, and it said, it's $199 right now at Amazon. I did not realize that Amazon Prime carried it. This tool goes helpful. It may not be viral, but at 2 a.m. when you're trying to watch Gran Torino, my friends, it will tell you where you can watch it. And the reason why we know it's helpful is because people search this way. Check it out. People want to know, can I stream this? You know who should have built this? Netflix should have built it. Comcast. Anybody here from Comcast? Build this. Your audience is 1,000 times bigger. Like after you fix all of our cable problems, then build this. But like people are looking for this. This is an opportunity to go helpful. I don't know if this thing ever goes viral, but when you get it and see it, you go, oh God, that's such a help because I never know whether Netflix has it or Amazon Prime has it or if no one has it or if Comcast has it. Here you go. Can I stream it? Never have to ask that question to Google again because Google doesn't really know. Google should just take all this traffic and just direct it to can I stream it? So start there. And I want to start to wrap up as I'm on time. or short. I think I'm not over. Am I over? Am I done? I'm done. All right. We're going to pull the hooks in. The power when you take a core belief system and having a clique that you've built, there's power in it. Patagonia has 11,000 Instagram followers on just wornwear. And wornwear, like nudie, was launched against Black Friday by Patagonia. Patagonia plants a flag that says, we don't think people should buy more stuff. So instead of us creating jeans that if you wear a pocket in the front, it's going to wear out, we're going to build stuff that lasts forever. And then what did they do? They built Instagram to have people write in their story about their products. They don't have to advertise, hey, we're Patagonia, our stuff lasts forever. They're like, we're Patagonia, just take pictures of your stuff and tell us your story. And then everyone's going to see that our stuff lasts forever. They must have put about, I swear, it must have been about 200 grand into a video series that I don't have time to show you, all about people's stories. And it starts off with the surfer who talks about how he's had the same pair of swim shorts for like 15 years from Patagonia, and when they wore out, he used them to patch up his umbrella. He like lives on the beach, total hippie, right? But they found these guys and put a video crew out there, not to tell you how great Patagonia was. They told other people's stories. And then they said, screw Black Friday. Black Friday's about buying more stuff. We're going to throw a party at all of our locations. Come and bring your stuff you already own and share your stories. Like, remember I told you about the bird shit in my jeans? That's what people are doing. They're taking together a clique, a like-minded group of people who say, hey, you know what? Tell me about that jacket. Oh, my dad gave me this jacket. It's 20 years old. He hiked the Himalayas with it. And think about it. People are telling stories, and the whole time, they're just doing it in the Patagonia store, talking about their beliefs. Got a ton of press, which is good. I want to remind you that people change the way they search. Simple. Great. That's Scott here. You know, people now are looking to, how do I save money is what people are looking for. Screw a savings account. That's a transaction for me. Look at how people's search behavior has changed since 2003. People want to know how they can save. They don't necessarily want a savings account. But today we go, I must rank for savings account because when people search for it, yeah, you and the other 50,000 people all want that. How about you get people way up the funnel when they're trying to figure out how to be more responsible with their money? People type in things like banks didn't exist. Started in about 2011. Why? Because you could search for it on your phone and your phone had GPS. And typically when you want a bank, you don't care, you're not doing that search somewhere, you're out trying to get your drink on and you're out of money and you need to find out where the banks are. I can type into Google, when is my flight? And it'll tell me when my flight is. Yeah, that email that you send out, that confirmation email that you send out with like, hey, why don't you get our credit card for 50,000 extra points? I don't even see it anymore. Right? They made it easier. I'm changing the way I search. And since I'm over time, I'm going to kind of hurry through this. But you better believe that behavior's been changed. We are changing the way we seek out information, content, stories. Somebody's kid somewhere in here is typing this in. I'll tell you this. If I worked for a company that had anything to do with that, I'd be like, I'm going to build the best guide ever on how to convince your parents to get you a dog or a tattoo. Funny. Then I'll put it up on like Snapchat. That's where all the kids are, right? But think about it. People are looking for that. You can build something that's helpful around that. Because who doesn't want a freaking dog that looks that cute? Just having that up there makes me think, like, could I get another one? But no, my current dog would not like this dog. So, as I wrap up, I want you to start asking yourself when you're producing content and telling your story, are you found when people are trying to rediscover your story? Or what about when they're taking that first step? There's a search phrase I showed one of our clients, checking accounts at 16. People were trying to figure out, can I open up a checking account for my child at 16 years old? Like, is that when you're allowed to and all these rules? And not one bank in the freaking country said, hey, we can take that as an opportunity to talk about how to talk to your teen about responsible banking. No one. It's Q&A, FAQ, 16, yes, buy our stuff. Let's retarget the hell out of you. Open up your account versus how to teach your student to be responsible with credit. That's how you build a clique versus getting a clique. So that's what I'm going to ask you guys as I finish up today, is think about your strategies, your content strategies. Think about the story you're telling. And are you trying now to build a clique, or is everything you do around trying to get a clique from somebody versus building that click, because you'll get the clicks you want if you build those kind of clicks. So that's all I got. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.